Hey everybody, welcome to Matwork Monday, and this is a special edition. As this coming Sunday is Father's Day, we're doing Pilates for Papas today. So I have my trusty, awesome husband, trusty sidekick. Father, yeah. He's a papa, so Papas for Pilates, or Pilates for Papas today. So the thing is with Pilates, you can market it however you want, and it's kind of all the same basic fundamental exercises. So Pilates for Papas will look a lot like our Pilates for Mamas class. The difference is there'll be a little more focus on stretching, as sometimes the lower body can be a bit tighter in our dads and papas and men in general. But the fundamental core work is going to be similar. So really anyone can participate. It's just a special event edition for our papas out there. A big thank you for all you do. Let's keep you in shape so you can keep up with your kids. All right, you will need, if you'd like, it's not necessary, but if you can grab a belt or a strap, we'll be using this for a couple of stretches. Otherwise, get yourself on the mat. We're going to start actually on our hands and knees in a cat and cow pose. Okay, so hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath your hip sockets, so that you have like 90-degree angles, you know, at those joints. You're just gonna breathe out, drop your head and scoop the abs. I'm gonna pull the shirt a little tighter, as you can see he's pulling up on his abdominals there. And when you have no air left, you inhale and reverse the shape of the spine. So lift your head, start to inhale. A little extra opening across the chest, we often need that. Draw the shoulders back and widen the collarbones. When there's no room left for air, you exhale, drop the head round, and breathe all the air out. Actively pulling your abdominals in, right? That C curve, nice. And then reverse. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Even though you're drawing your shoulder blades back, you're still lifting your breastbone. So lift your breastbone off my finger. There you go. And then exhale, drop the head and round the back. Now hold here, and let's reverse the breath. Take a big inhale into the back. And then as you exhale, arch the back. Lifting your chest, your chin, squeezing all the air out. Your chin lifts, your breastbone lifts off my finger. It's my hand here, it's right there at his chest. Good, one more time. Drop the head and inhale. Like you're inhaling into the back of your heart. Oh, it's awesome. Fill it up, and then exhale, reverse. Lift the chin, the chest. Arm bones plug in their sockets as you press your chest away from the floor. Good, and then go to neutral or flat back, however you want to call it. And we're going to do an exercise called thread the needle. So your right hand will stay on the floor. Your left hand's going to thread through towards the camera. And then you bend that right elbow and you let your head rest on the ground. So you're just letting gravity, in a sense, pull you down, and then the earth supports you. Now hold here, take a nice big inhale into the sides of the rib cages. And then as you exhale, start to open your chest. So you start to untwist, push through your right arm. Left hand goes to the heart. It's almost like you turn your elbow up to the sky, and then your hand goes up. Good. Hold there, good. Big inhalation into the side of the ribs. And then exhale, thread through. Breathe out. Bringing out that towel. All that air gets squeezed out. All of it. Good. And then inhale. Just open, hand to the heart, and it's like you're pulling your breastbone to the window behind you, and then reaching through both arms. I know I'm off camera here, but stretch through those arms. Good, one more time. Breathe out as you twist. Stretch, and then think long out of that low back. Holding there, keep reaching through that left hand, and inhale here. And then as you exhale, twist. Yeah. So inhaling into the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, hand to the heart, and squeeze all your air out. And last one, actively push out of this right arm as well. Nice, and then inhale into the sides of the ribs. And then as you exhale, you can put your left hand down. Good. Shift your body forward slightly. Your arms are perfect to shift forward. There you go. And then your right hand's gonna thread through. So now we do the other side, papas. Thread through and breathe out.
Breathing out, right?
Yeah. It's like every time you're twisting, the action of the twist, you squeeze the air out. And you hold there. Look at all this space to breathe in. Inhale. Widening the ribs. And then as you unravel, you breathe out. Hand to heart, and you start to twist the other direction. So you can see in the video right there, shift your hips forward slightly so you're over your knees. Good, and keep pushing out of the arms. Now, big inhale into the sides, and then exhale, thread through, bend your left elbow, and lengthen. And same thing here, shift your hips forward slightly. There you go, and keep reaching. Big inhale through here, and then a big exhale as you twist. Hand to heart. Opening, and then stretching their arms, stretch away from each other one final time. Big inhale, big exhale, thread through. Twist, shift your hips forward slightly, so you're over your knees. Stay there, big inhale. And then exhale, hand to heart. So I kind of lie, this is your last one of these, but then we'll bring the hand down. Good. Push through the arms, big inhale. And then place your right hand down on the mat and just sit back in a child's pose, which we steal from yoga, because Joseph Pilates would never rest ever. Take a big inhale. And then a big exhale and release. And just for the record, this actually isn't classical Pilates work right now. This is sort of pre-Pilates, kind of building up to some of the things you'll need in your body to do the work correctly. So we come back onto our hands and our knees. Good. Nice. Heart right over the wrists in a sense. Nice. We're going to just do some knee pulls in a sense. The right knee is going to come to the heart. Breathe out as you drop your head. Squeeze out. So keep the knee there as you breathe out, like you're pumping the air out of your body. Good. And then inhale, press the right leg back. Your toes will go to the floor. So you get a calf stretch. Lift your chest and kind of arch through. It's very much cat and cow, just with an added movement of the leg. Exhale, drop the head, breathe out, scoop the abs. Really deepening that panini press as you pull up towards the sky. And then inhale, press the right leg back. Think of that lifting of the breastbone as you widen your collarbones, pushing through that heel. One more time, exhale, drop the head, scoop the abs, and breathe everything out. Good. And then reverse. Press back. Big inhale. Lifting your chest, widening the collarbones, and pushing your heart away from the floor. Good. And then bend that right knee back to the floor. And our final exercise in this position is the left side. So left knee pulls to the heart and you breathe out. Now, quick tip, if the wrists are starting to bother you, push through all 10 finger pads. And then reverse. Press the left leg back, toes to the floor, and open your chest. So it's your finger pads, not just the wrist holding your body weight. Exhale, actively push through the fingers, breathe all your air out as you use your abdominals to lift your body weight off your joints. And then reverse. Lift your chin, your chest, press back. Opening as you push through this heel. Right, there you go. One more time, exhale. Knee to heart, breathe out. Push this side of your rib cage up a little more. Yeah, good. And then reverse. Pressing back. Hold there. Take a big inhale into your heart. And then bend your left knee and child's pose. So reaching through, actively walk the fingers away. And what you're doing is essentially making more room for more air. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the shoulder blades, let the arms be heavy as you breathe out. So everything lets go. Nice. Okay. Turn around and sit on your bums. And we'll do an exercise called roll back, which just helps us find our abs a little bit more. Okay, so knees bent forward just a little bit so you have some room to roll back. Okay, so go ahead and separate your feet. And, if we're tight in our hip sockets, this will drop us. So walk the feet out a little bit further and lift up out of that low back. Good. All right, and then from there, grab behind your thighs and just let yourself slouch. That's always the sound, I think. Okay, and then lift. Now, where you want to focus on lifting is right here where my fingers, right at the sacrum, right to L5, right at the base. Yes, that's where the most important lift happens. And then let everything slouch. Because otherwise, you load in your lumbar. And those are the guys that usually first, they pop. So one more time, lifting. So we're showing the difference between a lifted rollback and a collapsed rollback. So this is your lift. Now, you keep this lift and you start to hollow out your abdominals. And you start to come back towards the mat, but with length in your spine. You're lifting out of that low back as you come back. And you're going to go back to the point where your fingers are still touching your legs. Hold there. Now inhale into your back space. And then exhale, hollow out the abs and come back up. Breathing out. You also only want to go back to the point where your heels are still in contact with the floor. Okay? Inhale at the top, lifting out of this lumbar area. Keep inhaling as you hinge back to start. So get your breath out before you move. Inhale, start to hinge back. And then as you exhale, start to hollow out the abs. Yeah, there's length and depth. All right, you go to the point where the heels might want to lift or the arms extend fully, whatever happens first. Inhale into the back of your heart. And then exhale, hollow out the abs, deep into your heart and your head, move forward. And then this last time we'll go all the way to the mat. Inhale, lift. Up off my finger, nice. And then exhale, hollow out the abs. And you're gonna come all the way back to the mat. So there will probably be a slight tuck in the pelvis, but you're doing your best to lift out of that tuck and go down with control. Yay, all the way down and release. Okay, straighten the legs all the way out. Okay, now this is luxurious. If you have a family member that can grab your heels, ask them. It's Father's Day. Say, please grab my heels. I love you.
Can you please grab my heels? I love you.
Look at that. I love you too. So I'm going to pull on your heels because it's going to feel nice. Now, if there was a second family member, I would have them grab his head, his skull, and pull it the other way. So, yeah, there's not a second person, but we're tractioning in a sense. If you don't have anybody in your house today to help you, flex your heels actively. So pull your toes towards you, Adam. There you go. So you're lengthening the back body, right? Keep reaching out of those heels. And then grabbing behind the skull, gently lengthening. Massage therapists do this all the time because it feels good. It releases the back. So the whole time you're doing your workout today, think of someone pulling on your head and pulling your heels. Because we love you and we want you to feel length. Okay, so we've got our 100 to start here. Reach the arms to the ceiling. Okay. And I want you to just take a big inhale as your arms float behind you slightly. And then a big exhale, powerful. Breathe out, deepen the abs and squeeze all the air out. Good. Inhale, arms float. Head can stay down. You're good. Reach the arms. Good. And then exhale, press. Deepen the abs. Keep pressing gently through the heels and through the skull. And one more time. Inhale. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big exhale. Press down. 2, 3. I lied. Do just one more. Inhale. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. So your breath is continuous despite the counting. Okay. Reach those arms to the ceiling. Okay. Lift the head and shoulders up off the mat, deepening here to support the head. As you exhale, float the legs up, either bent or straight. And then breathe out as you press your arms. Good. And begin pumping vigorously. Inhale. And then exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Inhale into your back. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. And out. Good. Now separate the toes. Keep pumping. Big inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. 2, 3. Now continue, Adam. Bend your knees into tabletop. And as you exhale, deepen the ribs and try to get your heart a little higher. There you go. Big inhale into the back of the heart. Exhale. 2, 3. Last 2. Keep pumping the arms, but let me have the weight of your head. And exhale. Let your head go. There you go. One more time. Big inhale into the back of your heart. Now everyone exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Deepen even more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs, lower the head and shoulders, and release. Reach those arms behind you and just stretch. A nice stretch. You can grab one wrist. Just pull gently as you press through that heel. So if you're grabbing your left wrist, you'll press through your left heel. That side of the body get a little longer. And then grab your right wrist and press through your right heel. Now both hands hold each other. Stretch both hands back. Stretch both heels. And as you do that, exhale and deepen the rib cage as you push through the heels. Good. Okay. All right, Papas, time for a tough one. Footwork. Now, we're going to support our heads with our hands. Stack the hands behind the biggest part of your skull and then deepen your ribs so your shoulders float off the floor. And just as I asked you earlier, let your head be heavy. So it's your core holding you up, not your neck muscles. As you exhale, try to lift an inch or two higher. There you go. Keep coming. Keep coming. There. That's where you want to be. Look how high it is. Wow. Now bend your knees into tabletop. Pilates via your feet. And we're doing an exercise called footwork. You point your toes And then you exhale, press the legs across the room. Breathing out. Inhale, bend your knees back in like a frog. Exhale, point the toes and keep them pointed. Inhale, bend the knees, toes stay pointed. Exhale, press. Inhale. And as you do this, gravity's going to pull your upper body down. Don't let it. Lift your chest, lift your shoulders. Bending in. Last two, exhale. If you have any hip popping, push the legs higher in the air. Good. Bending in. One more time, press. Now hold there, bring your feet together, keep the toes pointed, and bend your knees in with them together. And then exhale, press. Inhale, bending in. Good. Knees touching as best they can. Exhale, press. Good news, only 3 more and then you get a break. Lift your heart a little higher. Exhale, press. Last 2. Sounds like you're getting a little popping. Come a little higher. Last 2, press. Good. And bending in. One more time, knees hug towards each other as you press and breathe. Out, 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 out. Much better. No popping. Nice. Bend your knees in. Lower your feet. Lower your head and shoulders and take a break. Uno momento. Just one break for one moment. Next footwork position is heels flexed. Reach those arms to the ceiling and start with straight legs out, right? So you're pressing through the heels on the floor, right? Flex the heels. Imagine someone pulling the heels and pulling your skull and arms to the ceiling. Good. Inhale to lift the upper body. Good. Then stack those hands behind the biggest part of your skull and let the head be heavy as your core holds you up. Beautiful. And see if you can lift just an inch higher. You two at home. Good. Not with the head, but lift the breastbone by deepening your, yeah, very good. Now bend the knees in, tabletop. Flex your feet, which means the heels will press now. Exhale as you press. Inhale, bend in, and the knees can hug towards each other. Exhale, press. That will help with hip popping too. And so let's make parallel feet, parallel knees. Exhale, press. Inhale, bending in. Good, squeeze my fist. And exhale, press the squeeze of my fist. There we go. And bending in. Good. And breathe out as you press. Good. And in. Good news, everyone. One more. Big exhale as you press. Hold your legs out there and point your toes and flex your feet. And point your toes and flex your feet. Last 2. It's good work. 2. And flex. Hang out there. Ah! 1 more point. And flex. Bend your knees in. Lower your feet. Lower your head and shoulders and release. See, gravity will just start to pull you down. And it's worth a good giggle. If you laugh, actually, you get extra credit because you're working your abs by laughing so much. Okay, so we go on to leg circles. And we're actually just going to do the stretching part of leg circles today. So you'll grab your belt or your strap. You're going to hold on to each side and strap your right foot up. If you want a little more stretch in the calf, you put the strap across the ball of the foot. Go ahead and lower your left leg all the way down to the mat straight. There you go. Okay, so from there, I want you to plug your arm bones in their sockets. And then as you exhale, shrink wrap your ribs. So these are cues that are important when you're stretching. Because if you have tight legs, it'll pull your core all over the place. So you need to make sure you're stable here. Now go ahead and just bend your knee just a little, this right knee. Now drop the sits bone or the tailbone. Good. Now keep that anchored and then start to extend the heel up towards the ceiling. And do that again. Uh-oh, a little slippery strap here. There you go. Bend your knee. Okay, so holding there. Now, I'm asking to drop the sits bone, which means you're basically trying to lengthen this seat towards your left heel. And then you hold the back of the pelvis anchored and you gently press through the heel. Lengthening, good. 2 more, bending. As you exhale, deepen the rib cage towards the mat as you drop that tailbone. Yeah, 1 more time, bend the knee. And then as you exhale, you shrink wrap the ribs, the leg lengthens. And you do not necessarily have to get to a straight leg. What you're looking for is that the hips are square. Now grab both straps with your left hand, okay? So we're gonna gently start to pull this leg across the body while stretching out of this hip. So this, again, right hip is reaching towards the left heel. Good. And then flex the pinky toe side to deepen the stretch across the outside of the leg. Okay? Now hold this stretch. Inhale into the back of your heart. As you exhale, release the stretch, bring the leg back to center. Grab both straps with your right hand and now start to pull the leg out to the side. This is more of a core challenge than it is a stretch. because this leg going over is going to make this left hip want to lift up. Okay, so the right leg's going out to the side, but you're shrink wrapping through here and anchoring the back of the hips. So you don't go anywhere. Let's go across the body one more time. Grab both straps with your left hand. And as you do that, my hand's right here. I'm inviting him to reach this hip towards this heel. Think of turning the leg out slightly. Grab both straps with your left hand and flex on that pinky toe side as you pull the leg across the body one more time. Good. Inhaling into the back of the heart. As you exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, and shrink wrap your ribs. Good. Come back to center and we'll switch legs. A longer strap is ideal, so you can anchor your elbows next to your ribs, but we actually don't have a yoga strap, so we're using my belt. Showing you how you can make this happen even if you don't have props. Okay, so right leg goes down. With a longer strap as well, you can sometimes let this leg lower. And what you're trying to do, actually, let me take the strap off just to demonstrate here. When you lower the legs, start with the heels hugging towards each other. So heels, that's your hugging the midline. So as you lift this leg up, go ahead and lift that left leg up again. This right heel doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna give you your strap back. There you go. Nice. And you'll be able to see it a little more clear here. So you're gonna start bending the knee just a little. And when you bend the knee, you allow some freedom in the pelvis. So we're gonna lengthen here. Look at that. Oh my gosh, there's his waistline, right? Now, slowly start to press through the heel, trying to keep the back of this pelvis long so that we don't shrink up here, right? Bend the knee. Reaching the sits bone. Let's guide this little bone right down there, stretching towards this right heel, and then start to lengthen the heel, keeping the left side body long, shrink wrapping the ribs. One more time, bend the knee. And exhale, press. So if you have tight leg muscles, it'll make the spine compensate. You'll shrink up in your spine to make the leg go straight. Don't do that. Go ahead and grab both straps with your right hand. And we start to pull the leg gently across the body towards your right side. And right here, so watch this. You see how where his spine is now? Let's see if we can lengthen it a little bit. Look at that, so cool. You feel the stretch a little more? Yeah, it's awesome. Now take a big inhale into the back of the heart. As you exhale, release the ribs under your left hand. Just let them soften. Beautiful. And then come back to center. Grab both straps with your left hand. Now, hug your right heel into my heel. There you go. And start to bring the leg out to the side. Good. Now hold there. This waistline here. Let's drop this sits bone. There you go. And as you do that, shrink wrap the ribs. Now I'm going to let go. Make sure it doesn't pull you off your right hip. Good. And then coming across the body one more time. You and I are going to hug heels together. Push your right heel into me. There you go. And then grab the strap with your right hand one more time. Pull the leg across. And you yourself can take your own hand and start to invite this hip away, right? That's how you do it at home if you don't have a family member to spot you. So he's gently pushing almost on the leg bone, right? So that the spine stays long and the pelvis doesn't hike up. If you flex on the pinky toe side of your foot, there's a little deeper stretch across the knee and the thigh. Depending on where you're tight, you'll either feel it kind of on the back side, right across the knee, or sometimes even the calf. Okay, coming back to center, go ahead and take the strap off your foot. And just release the legs for a minute, strap to the side. Nice. And then reach those arms to the ceiling. Hug the heels together. Inhale, lift your upper body. And right there, keep pressing through your legs to lengthen. Exhale, roll all the way up, with or without the help of the arms. Keep lengthening on the back of the legs and plug those shoulders. Left. Good. Time for rolling like a ball. So grab your shins, elbows wide. Let's rock together. This will be fun to watch. Okay, float your feet just up. Okay, here we go. We inhale to rock back. Exhale to rock up. Your feet don't touch the floor. Inhale, rock back. Exhale. Now you're gently pressing the heels together. Continue. Inhaling into the back of the heart, tips the scale. You exhale deep in the abs forcefully. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, deep in the abs, fully pulling in deep. One more time. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, rock up and hold. Now lower the heels just to the mat. Reach those arms up. Good. And then start to hinge back, keeping that lift in your spine. And as you exhale, plug the shoulders, press the arms, and go back to the mat for 3. You can press through the heels as you lower 2. All the way down and release. Not easy. Okay, lower lift. So we're skipping the first 3 ab series exercises and going to the last 2. So go ahead and straighten your legs all the way out fully. Arms float to the ceiling. Good. Now breathe all your air out. Watch that shrinking of the rib cage as he does that. Good. Now inhale to lift your heart. Inhale into the back of your lungs. So your head and shoulders just float up. Stay there as you exhale. Stack the hands behind the biggest part of your skull. Not just the fingers. We want the entire hand making a hammock. Good. Now let the weight of your head fall back and let your elbows hug towards each other just a little more. Good. Now hold there. Deep in here and lift your shoulders up off that mat. All of you, I'm watching you. Lift up a little higher. You got it. There you go. Nice. Now float your knees into frog position. So heels together, knees and toes apart. And we're going to lift the feet a little bit higher. Now separate your toes. Good. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to lower your legs towards the floor. Keep lifting that heart up off the floor. Inhale, pull the legs back up. Exhale, lower the legs. So he's hinging in his hip socket, not in the low back. Inhale, float the legs up. Exhale, lower the legs deep in here. Lift your heart a little higher. There, you just saw it, folks, right there. Lifting up. Inhale, lift. Last 2. Exhale, lower the legs. And float the legs back up. Hold there. Squeeze your knees into my fists. There you go. One more. Lower. Breathe out. Holding it. And then we inhale, pull the legs up. Exhale, lower the legs, lower the head and shoulders, and release. If you do that correctly, you only need to do 5 to feel it. Or actually fatigue. Okay, so we go into crisscross, but we're just going to work on the twist aspect of it today. So guys, we tend to sometimes walk a little wider with our knees, so we're going to be working on hugging the midline in this. So Adam, go ahead and put your left heel up on your right knee. And then I want you to take your right hand and put it on the inside of your left knee. And then hug your left knee into your hand so that it lines up with your nose. So this knee comes in. There doesn't need to be a ton of resistance, just enough for you to wake up the inner thigh muscle. Good. So now his knee, if I was looking at him from bird's eye view, is lined up with his midline. Okay? The right hand now is going to go behind the head. And you all just imagine hugging that knee into a hand. The left hand's going to go down on a diagonal. Good. Now lift your heart up on an inhale, and then exhale, twist towards your left knee, wringing out that towel. Now hold here, something to see. Drop this hip. There you go. Inhale, open your body. Exhale, hug across as you breathe out and hug this knee into my hand. There you go. And then dropping this hip. Nice. Inhale. And your goal is to eventually keep the hip drop the whole time. Exhale. Sometimes when we crunch, we want to tuck the pelvis, right? Let that hip drop and hug the knee into my hand. Good. There it is. Good. Inhale, open. Last 2. Good. Inhale. Press that hand down. Nice. Inhale, open. So at home, the knees are hugging towards each other. You're exhaling. You're wringing out all the air. Drop this hip and smile because you just finished with that side. Come back to center and release. Ah. I'm sighing like I'm doing the hard work. It's not really fair. Okay, walk your left foot a little further away from you so you have enough space in that hip to create length in the spine. And you take your own hand. Now it's going to be the left hand against the right knee, and it's that knee hugging towards the midline. Yeah. And hug that knee as well. So everything's just on the line of your spine. Good. Now once you have that hug, you keep the feeling, but you bring the hand behind the head. This hand's going to press down. Good. Now inhale to lift a little higher. And then you exhale, twist, bringing out the air. And we keep this hip anchored, leg in its socket. Inhale, open. And exhale, deep in here as you twist. It's not just the head twisting. Yeah, see how those ribs kind of fold over as you imprint the right to the floor. Inhale, open. Press down on my fingers. Good. Exhale. Breathe out. Push me down to the floor there with my hand. Good. And inhale. Yep. And one more time. Exhale. Twist around. Push into my hand. Keep pushing into my hand. My hand's underneath his on the floor. Yes. Inhale, open. And exhale, lower everything and take that stretch. Heels away from the hands as you stretch your body. Very nice work. All right, everybody, let's flip over onto our fronts. So be up on your forearms for single leg kick. Here we go. All right, so your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Fists are the width of your shoulders. And you're pushing down. So yeah, the pinky side of your fist that's pushing down. So distribute weight differently and more evenly when you add some of these subtle cues of where to push through the hand. It actually strengthens the shoulder a lot. Okay? So you're gonna lift your heart, your head, your chest. Lift your chin. Good. And pushing through the pinky side of your fist, try to get this breastbone up off the floor. There you go. And that will sort of streamline through here. Keep pushing this breastbone off the floor. Good. Nice. And as you're doing that, bring the knees a little closer towards each other. And then gently tuck the tailbone towards the floor. Good. Still pushing your heart away, lift your chin. That's awesome. So we're in a plank position here from the knees. Now the right heel will come kick the bum twice. Kick, kick, and lower. Your goal is to stay as steady as you can while the leg bends. Good. Kick twice. We kick, kick, and lower. And kick, kick, and lower. Good. Push here. And kick, kick, lower. And you're breathing out as you kick. So it's kind of a and lower. And lower. One more each. Inhale and exhale. Lower everything down and turn your face to the camera for double leg kick. Now, double leg kick. You're going to grab 2 fingers, one hand, and place them on your back. There you go. Now, depending on the flexibility of your shoulder, you can kind of scooch the hands up, okay? And then grab, 2 fingers. Have your right hand grab 2 left fingers. There you go. And then as you exhale, you allow the arms to roll in their sockets gently and the elbows fall to the floor as best you can. And take a minute there to inhale into the space behind the shoulder blades. I should say in between the shoulder blades, right? And then exhale, the elbows are heavy. And let's turn our head the other way and do the same thing for a couple of breaths. So we inhale into the back of the heart, the back of the shoulders. Exhale, let the elbows be heavy. One more time, inhaling. The legs are always heavy until we ask them to turn on, okay? Now, holding this posture, let everything feel heavy. Legs hug towards each other a little more. You're now gonna bend your knees and kick your bum 3 times. On a breath out. Lower the legs. Now inhale, lift your chest and reach your arms back towards your feet. So you're holding onto those fingers, widen the collarbones, and reach those hands actively towards your feet. Still holding onto your fingers, 2. Opening 1. And then you exhale, lower everything down. And as you breathe out, your hands return. And you kick 3 times. Kick 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Inhale, open your chest. Reach the hands back as you hold the fingers. Still inhaling, 2. Widening the chest, 1. Look to the right this time. Exhale, lower down, hands return. And as you breathe out, you kick 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Inhale, lift your chest. Reach the hands. Your legs are heavy. Your low back is long and your navel is deep. Breathe out as you lower, looking to the left. And we kick 3. Hands back, 2 and 1. Lower the legs. Stretch the arms back and inhale. Open your chest for 3. Right, so we're looking for length in the low back too. It's like how long can you make your spine? And lower everything down. We'll do one final round. Look to the right. Hands return and we kick 3 times. Lower the legs. Inhale, open your chest as you lift for 3. Keep inhaling 2. Legs are heavy, abs are deep. Last time, look to the left. Arms return and we kick for 3. 3, elbows drop, 2. Lower the legs. Inhale, lift your chest and reach the hands back for 3. Legs heavy. Letting the low back go so the abs can do their job of support. And then lower everything down. Sit back on your heels and stretch. Nice. Take a big inhale into the space. And exhale. And sitting up on your mat for spine stretch. So you'll set up with your legs the width of the mat. If you have tightness in your hamstrings, sorry about that, you might need to sit up on a bolster or a couple of pillows. Okay, so if we're tight in our low backs, or sorry, if we're tight in our hamstrings, if we go to straighten the legs, we compensate in our low back. You see that? If I'm tight here, it's gonna pull my pelvis forward and under. So if you need to soften the knees to get up out of the pelvis, that's what we're looking for. If this is still too tough, get on a pillow, okay? So legs the width, so put your feet the width of the mat. Good. So spine stretch, we're stretching our spines. We first have to lift up out of our pelvis to do this. Okay, so bend your knees just a little bit and then see right where I'm wiggling my finger if you can find any more height. Yes, you all saw it, right? There's that extra ½ inch. Now your arms the height of your shoulders for spine stretch. Good. Inhale to grow a little bit taller out of my wiggling finger at the base of the spine. As you exhale, your pelvis hinges forward. Drop your head and then peel your spine away as you hollow out the abs. Now, as you C-curve, your body will want to load here. Lift up out of here as you C-curve the ribs. Arms higher out on the height of your shoulders. Good. Breathe all your air out. Deepening that, right? So we still lift it into the low back. Then we inhale, we start to pull back with our spine, stacking the vertebra on top of that pelvis. Keep inhaling, keep coming back, maybe a little quicker so you don't run out of air. Inhaling, lift, opening your heart, and then exhale. The head drops, breathe out, hollow out the rib cage, but stay lifted out of this pelvis. So from the hip socket, hinge your pelvis forward slightly, arms the height of the shoulders. Good, it's forward, right? Not down. We don't need gravity anymore. Lift up a little bit higher through your ribs. There you go. And then inhale, start to stack your spine back up. Lifting, 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 still inhaling, making your inhale last the entire lift. Good. And then exhale, head drops with the top of the head that's stretching across the room. So we're lifting the ribs. We're lifting out of our pelvis. See if you can get out of my fingers just a little more. Yes, that was it. Awesome. Inhale, stack your spine back up. This is really nice to have a family member or partner help with. Really lifting one more time. And then exhale, drop the head, but it's the top of the head that's getting pulled forward. Each little vertebra peels off a very lifted pelvis. Arms staying the height of your shoulders, going forward. Now hold the stretch here. Inhale into the back of your heart. This time, exhale to stack back up. Breathe out and lift all the way up. Beautiful, beautiful. Heart opens, and then you can exhale, release everything. And then lie down on your back for bridge. Knees bent on your spine. Okay. Our front room, by the way, is a big old kiddo playroom. So training Adam, I realized hugging a ball between the knees will help keep his legs in alignment. You don't need this prop, but if you find your knees go wide, you might want to grab a basketball and just place it in between the knees. Okay? So bring your feet just a little bit wider. There you go. And it's not a death grip on the ball, it's just a gentle hug. So release the hug just a little bit. There you go. So arms close to the body, pressing the hands down into the floor actively. So if I was in your house, I'd put my hand right underneath your hand and I want you to press there. And when you do that, you actually get to release the front of the throat a little more, okay? Now, inhale to push your hips up to the ceiling. Now, once you get to the top, you're gonna hold your breath for 3 counts. Keep pressing the hands into the floor as you widen your collarbones, 2. 1, then float your arms up to the ceiling and breathe out as you roll down for 3 counts. So he rolls down for 3. Breathe out and roll this bone down, roll this bone down 2, and then finally the pelvis releases at the bottom, okay? This inhale, the arms press. So we inhale, arms press down, you lift your hips. Hold your breath for 3, pressing the palms actively into the floor, 2. Make sure your pubic bone is higher than your breastbone, 1. And then the arms float up. Very good, by the way. 3, right? 2, this imprint of the spine to release it completely at the bottom. Let it all go. 2 more. Inhale, press the arms, lift your hips. Holding your breath for 3, pressing the palms down 2. Make sure the pubic bone is higher than the ribs. Good. Float the arms up, and then a big exhale as you imprint down into the mat. He's pulling each vertebra towards my fingers. Release the pelvis at the bottom. 1 more time. Inhale, press and lift. Good. Remember pubic bone. Yes. He's Self-corrects very easily. Keep pressing the hands too. Float the arms up to the ceiling, and then breathing out as you roll down for 3, rolling down 2, rolling down 1, and release completely. Gorgeous work. Okay, I'm not sure if all of you have toys in your front room to just use as needed. But yeah, it does help when you have to hug that midline, right? You're going to sit up for saw next, which sets up just like spine stretch forward. Okay, so the legs are the width of the mat. Softening the knees a little so the pelvis has a little more freedom. Okay, and again, we focus on that lift from sacrum to L5, right at the base of the spine. Now with saw, the arms go out to the sides. Okay, this is where if you have your 2 family members, you get them to play a gentle version of tug of war. And one of them will gently pull one arm, the other gently pulls this arm, and you end up with all this length. Now, a 3rd family member, bonus, right there. Now, I say that knowing probably no one's helping right now, but you imagine that, and it just helps you get all this length in this very usually congested area, okay? The head is lengthening. We could get the kids here.
It's a 4-person stretch.
It's a 4-person stretch,
yeah,
exactly.
4 people in
lifting. 1 person doing the stretch and the other 3 pulling.
One stranger.
Okay. And then lifting up out of the low back. All right, now we're going to twist to the right. Look at the breastbone moving away, okay? Good, keep lifting. Now your left hand's going to go towards your pinky toe. This palm turns, drop your head, turn this arm completely. And it's this hand high-fiving the ceiling as the ribs shrink right back. Good. Inhale, stack up a little quicker. Inhaling, arms come back to center. And then an exhale, twist to the left, the same stretch. Pinky to pinky toe. This arm turns. Completely let the shoulder drop forward, and this arm's going to rotate even more, so you high five here, deepening the ribs. Inhale, lifting up. Lifting, imagine your 3 people twisting to the right. And then a big exhale. So when we breathe out, we sometimes collapse. I don't want that. I want you lifting out of your low back. This shoulder's going to round forward completely. That way you have more freedom. Good. Inhale, stack up. Stretching those arms, big exhale, twist to the left. Rotate the arm. Now when you rotate this arm and the shoulder rolls forward, what you have now is a bunch of freedom in the ribs to deepen. 1 more each way. Inhale, stack up, lifting out of your low back. Twist to the right. Breathe out as you shrink wrap. Round forward. Now let the shoulder fall. There, look at that. And then press your hand into my hand here, trying to go higher in the arm. There you go. Hello, triceps. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Twist to the left. Rotate the arm. Let that shoulder blade go. And then press your palm into my hand a little higher for 3. Deepening the abs, 2 and 1. Lift your body all the way up. Now zip the legs together. Arms reach out in front of you. And you hinge back. And then exhale. Press the arms as you plug your shoulders going back to the mat for 3. Pressing your heels away from you 2. You can straighten the legs all the way 1. And release. All right. Go ahead and lie on your side, facing the camera. We're going to do a side plank here, which you can either do on your forearm or your fully extended arm, okay? Wherever you are, the wrist or the elbow is going to be directly underneath the shoulder, okay? Now, from here, bird's eye view, you want your ear, shoulder, hip, and ankles aligned, okay? If your balance is off, you can bend the bottom knee like a kickstand, and it helps you balance. In fact, do that 1 rep here. Just bend the bottom knee, and the top leg will still be straight, okay? Now from there, lift your hips up, okay? So this is like level 1, okay? A little more stability with the knee bent. You're panini pressing, and again, the head is lengthening. You imagine your family members pulling. Papas, you're used to this with the kids, right? Just hanging on your limbs. You're just pressing out of the limbs as if you're pushing them away from you. There, and add the arm, yes. Lengthening, good. Lengthening the skull. Lift this ear slightly away. There you go. And then you can lower your hips all the way down. Now you'll do a second one of that, or if you want to try with straight legs, both legs go straight. Okay. Next level would actually be the top leg back slightly. There you go. Now go ahead and lift the hips. Good, that puppet string grabs the pelvis, pulls it up. And then from the front to the back, there's this panini press and shrink wrap. And if you open your eyes and look in the video, you'll see you want your head aligned with your spine. There you go. Keep lifting. Now get this hips higher too. 1, and then lower all the way down. So we'll do a third and final rep, and you can stack the feet here or stay at your other 2 levels. Okay, doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Very last one, puppet string grabs the pelvis, pulls up, watch this. Whoop. Very nice. Okay, lengthen, there you go. So the sides of the skull are pulling out of the spine. The rib cage is shrink wrapping back. As the pubic bone goes forward 2, get the hips a little higher, don't load my hand 1, and then lower down and release. Beautiful. Do the other side. You can either turn around, face the other way, whatever you'd like. So again, showing all 3 levels. And then the 4th level, of course, you could do from the hand, right, with a straight arm. Go ahead and bend this bottom knee. Okay. There we go. Puppet string gets ready. As you exhale, pull the hips up. Is one side easier for you?
Mm-hmm.
Is this side easier?
Maybe.
Shrink wrap.
I see.
Good. Holding 2. Make sure flex this heel. There you go. Press the inside of that heel to the floor. So we're just adding hug the midline to everything. Okay, get you stronger. Lower the hips and release. Next, extend both legs. Again, you at home, you could stay with a bent knee. You got it. This will be the split stance. Top leg goes back. As you exhale, pull the pelvis up. You can add that arm reach to the ceiling if you'd like. Now right here, shrink wrap these ribs and then get these hips much higher. Pressing through the heels will help. So flex your bottom leg. The left leg, flex the foot, I should say, and push the outside of that foot into the ground. There you go, 2. And then lower everything down and release. Stacking both legs if it's an option. And exhale, lifting. Flex the left foot a little bit more if you can. Good. And see if you can lift up off my hand for 3. Shrink wrapping 2. Deepening 1. Lower everything down. Very nice work. Okay, how you feeling?
Fantastic.
You're going to stay on that side and bend your knees. You're lying down on your arm. Knees stacked and heels kind of in line with the spine. Okay? All right, so we are going to be what has been nicknamed clamming or doing clam and then pressing out through the legs. So I'm going to bring your heels forward slightly. Bend your knees just a little bit more in front of you. There you go. So when we clam, the leg is moving in the socket. We don't want the pelvis shifting forward and back, okay? So the knee and the toes are going to rotate wide. Heels will stay together. They're married, okay? And then as you exhale, you rotate the leg in its socket closed, okay? Now what will happen if you have a tight hip socket? The pelvis will want to jut back as the leg rotates open. So your pelvis stays stacked and you're rotating the thigh in its socket. Toes flex away from the other toes because they're rotating too. Good. And exhale, rotate the thigh closed as well as the toes rotating closed. Okay. Inhale, open. The foot rotates open as well. The foot keeps you honest. If the foot's rotating open with the knee, you know that the action's happening where it needs to be. Exhale, rotate the thigh closed. Good. Lengthening. You've got that family member gently pulling on the skull. One more time, rotating open. Now you're going to stay open here. The heels stay together, and you're going to press your heels away from your tailbone. Extend fully. And then rotate the top thigh in, and then we bend both knees in to start again. Okay, start with the knees stacked. There you go. Now keep the knees stacked and bend the knees back in. There you go. Towards you. Rotate the top thigh and foot open. Good. And then press the heels away from your tailbone, deepening the abs as you press. And then rotate the thigh and the top leg closed. And then bend your knees towards your chest one final time. Good, right there. Rotate the knee and the foot open. Press both legs out. There you go, deepening the navel up against the press of the heels. Now, grand finale on the side here. Lift the top leg up the height of your hip. You're going to hold this there, press through the leg, and then the bottom leg is going to come up to meet the top. Ah, and then lower the bottom leg. And the bottom leg comes up to lift. Ah, I like to sing every time it happens. 2 more. Exhale, deepen the abs. Ah. Lower the bottom leg. One more time. Exhale. Now imagine that family member pulling on your skull, so you hold your length 2. Head can go on your arm, but keep it long 1. Lower everything down. And now we do the other side. Good times. Okay. So You can bend that bottom arm, head just relaxed. Right arm, yeah. So bend, go ahead and bend your right elbow. And bring the elbow back. Yes, you have something to rest on. There you are. Okay, now bend your knees towards your chest. Good. Feet stack, rotate the knee closed to start, right? There you go. Okay, now hold there. Bring your upper body back. So you at home, what you actually want, bird's eye view, is that your body's parallel to the edge of the mat and your knees are bent, kind of 90 degrees, okay? So pelvis stays stacked, let the head release from any tension, and then rotate the knee and the foot open. Heels stay married. Good. And then rotate the knee and the foot closed. Good. Rotate the knee and the foot open. And rotate closed. One more time, rotate open so the pelvis doesn't shift. This is tough to be aware of, so be aware, right? Hips stacked. Now keep this, heels together, knees wide, and press out like you're doing a leg press. Froggy style. Good. Top leg and foot rotate closed. Bend your knees back in with them together. Good. Top knee and foot rotate open, heels together. Exhale, press, keeping this left hip stacked on top of the right. Rotate the thigh and the foot in. Bend your knees. One final time. Rotate open. As you press through the heels, imagine lengthening the skull and deepening the navel up through the spine. Hold there. Top leg lifts up, hip height. Bottom leg comes up to match. Good. And lower the bottom leg. Good. Exhale through the abdominals to lift the leg. Good. And lower. Length. Imagine pushing through the strap. One more time. Pull that leg up. Deepen the abs. Let your head be heavy. And then lower everything. Roll onto your front. Sit back on your heels and stretch. All right. 2 more exercises and then you're done. We shall flip over for teaser, which we're actually going to do more like boat pose and yoga today, Navasana, okay? But we're going to be having our body supported, like not in our low back area, but right on the sacrum, right across the pelvis. This will be what's in contact with the mat. Everything else will be lifted, okay? So for you, you're going to feel this area flat to the mat. Everything else is going to be pulled in. So go ahead and lie down to start. I thought we'd start sitting, but we'll try from the mat. Okay, now straighten the legs all the way out and then prop yourself up on your forearms. It's going to be the best way to get there because right here, the only thing really touching the mat is the back of the pelvis. Okay, then float the knees in so the shins are parallel with the floor. Good. Grab the backs of your thighs. Pull your upper body up a little bit. Good. Now get the back of your pelvis to the mat and then take the arms away. Good. And then extend the legs and bend the knees back in. Good. Extend the legs. Right there. Lift the back of that spine. There it is. And then bend the knees back in. One more time. Extend those legs. Now right there, hold. Lift the legs a little higher. Reach the arms and try to lift your upper body out of that floor and get up on top of the sits bones. Off the pelvis and now on the bottom of the pelvis. 2. Pull the legs up a little higher. 1. There it is, staying lifted. And then exhale, lower everything down and release. Ah, glorious. Okay, flip over onto hands and knees. So we're going to finish with push-up. And don't worry about the walkouts today. We're just going to work from here so they can see you. Now scoot forward so your hands are here and they can still see your heels when you straighten your legs. So first exercise is going to be shoulder shrugs. So we're going to start and demonstrate with the knees bent first. So just let the breastbone fall with the elbow staying straight. Okay, so that's a shrug right there. Then with the elbow staying straight, you push your heart away from the floor. The only thing you want to do here is press your head back so the head stays in line with the spine, even when you shrug. Good, and then push the heart away from the floor, the back of the head presses to the sky. One more time. So this is your option if you need support for the back, okay, holding there. If you're feeling strong through the core, you straighten the legs out and find yourself in a push-up position, okay? Good, now hug the heels together and take a moment to create length between the heels and the skull. And once you have that length, you shrink wrap your center and support this bridge. Holding there, you gently lift your chin, press your head back into my hand. There, look at that line, that's great. Now do shoulder shrugs. Head stays in line with the spine, and then you push up. 1, good, and again, shoulder shrugs. Look at all you papas working hard. Go ahead and push up. 1 more time. This is level 2, okay? Push up and hold, press your head back into my hand and get your heart away from the floor. Hold there. If you want level 3, push-ups. Bend your elbows, keeping this stable. Bend the elbows, chest goes to the floor. That line, right? And then you push up from the floor, from the knees, the toes, up 1. Big breath out. And 2 more. 2 more. Hold on, Manny. We're almost done. I'll be in there just a minute. And press 2. The life of a papa, right here. Live action. 1 more. I know. You can ask nicely next time. Exhale, push. That all once. And then sit back in child's pose and stretch. Come around here, give Papa a big hug. Because it's our Father's Day workout. We did not plan this, by the way. Give Papa the biggest hug ever.
Perfect timing.
We say, thank you for being my Papa. Thanks for being my Papa. Yeah, now we need to turn on the video. So that's how we got this video done. This is how we do this in this house. The only reason we can record is, thank goodness for PBS Kids. Okay, all right. Happy Father's Day to all of you. Can you say Happy Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Mwah. All right, have fun. Enjoy your workouts.